Ladies and gentlemen, today the Z06 is poised to take on the best at the Nurburgring with a sub 7-minute lap time. Hello everyone and welcome back to Brink of Speed. Today I'm super excited to get into this and discuss all about the new Z06 at the Nurburgring and what kind of lap times it is running. But before we do so, please help me out by smashing that thumbs up button. My thumbs up squad has been doing an amazing job. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep it up. You're really helping my videos take off. Also, if you don't want to miss a single one of these types of videos, please make sure to smash that red subscribe button and the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, there's some really good information in here from another YouTuber that actually lives right at the Nurburgring. So stay tuned, watch this entire video because there's some clips in there from him discussing exactly what we need to know about why these cars show up at the Nurburgring and what they're there to do. All right, let's get into it. So ladies and gentlemen, we have some lap times to go over here, but first I want to discuss why I believe GM will probably never get an official time with the Z06, but what it most likely would be if they did. Now we know that GM has been at Nurburgring for a few weeks, and boy have we seen and heard some great content from this new Z06. Just so everyone is up to speed with the new Z06, I'm going to explain what the differences are between it and the Stingray. The Stingray comes with a 6.2 liter NA pushrod V8 with 495 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque. It will rev to 6,500 and the car weighs about 3,600 pounds. This new Z06 will come with a 5.5 liter naturally aspirated flat plane crank V8 that will rev to 8 to 9,000 RPM range. Big difference. And let me tell you, it screams out there. Listen to this. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely music to my ears. I love hearing that. I'm sure you do as well. Now, it is rumored to have between 617 and 650 horsepower, although there are those out there that think it's going to be closer to 700 horsepower, and then somewhere between 550 and 600 foot-pounds of torque. Also rumored to weigh much less than the Stingray at only around 3,200 to maybe 3,300 pounds. GM has definitely built their new ultimate mid-engine track car. And so far, as you're about to see, the results are amazing. So I cannot show you this video, but I will link below so you can go watch it later. But this gentleman was filming the Z06s at the ring and decided to time them on his phone. He timed a non-Z07 Z06 and the result was slow. And I'm not sure why this would be. With the Z07 equipped Z06, it was a much different story though. They must have been a much more skilled driver because they had a lap time of 7 minutes and 12 seconds instead of 8 minutes and 18 seconds. I know, one was a Z07 and one wasn't. But the Z07 isn't going to be almost a full minute faster than the base Z06, and the base Z06 certainly wouldn't be 50 seconds slower than the Z51 Stingray that we all know went 7 minutes and 28 seconds. Now I know this is still 13 seconds away from a sub 7 minute time, but on a 13-mile track, it can be made up fast. I ran across this video from a gentleman named Misha Sheridan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He has a YouTube channel and he explains that right now at the Nurburgring, they're having an event called the High Performance Industry Pool, and it is only accessible to manufacturers. So this gives each manufacturer time on the track by themselves, and they are allowed to time themselves. However, they are not permitted to publicize their times ever. Take a look at this video where Misha explains it.
First, let's talk about the type of event that was taking place. unofficial type of event, although it is official because it's organized by the Nurburgring, but it's only accessible to manufacturers, the so-called high performance industry pool, where the cars are being allowed to go, let's say, more competitively, more freely, to see what the car is capable of, because the cars are being, so to say, unleashed onto the track or set out on the track with intervals between like 10 minutes. And knowing that the average lap time for these type of cars is around 7 minutes, you know that you're definitely going to have an empty track to yourself. However, very important thing to note is that although the manufacturers can time themselves, they can see what the car is obviously capable of by having all kinds of telemetry on board, they are not allowed to communicate this lap time. So whatever they might have set on that day, they cannot go and then tell us, to the world, about this, because for that there are specific lap timing events to make sure that everything is done fair, so there is notary on board. But the only thing what you need to know is whatever would have been that day, they cannot have communicated that there was any type of lap record, if there would have been any lap record, or even any significant time, because of course if we think about the Corvette, everyone wants to see it to be the first US car to go under the magical 7-minute mark, and I think the car is capable of that, but more on that later on. But why were these cars there in the first place? And at this point I think we need to look at them separately in separate case. And long story short, there are a lot of speculations, but still speculations are good and they can give us some hope.
Just so everyone knows, I contacted Misha and he gave me permission to use this footage. He lives right next to the Nurburgring and is there often. He knows the rules, and if you watch his whole video, you may better understand. Anyway, even he says he believes the Z06 can be a sub 7-minute car at the ring. This is also what an ex-GM employee that most of you probably have heard of, he's also a race car driver, named Jim Miro. He said this as well. His article about the Z06 will be linked below. He said that after considering the new Cup 2R compound tires that are on the new Z06, which are 8 years newer than the previous Cup 2s, they should help improve times by around 10 to 12 seconds over the C7 Z06 time, and that's based on the tires only. Then when you figure the DCT into it, which is much faster shifts and keeping horsepower and torque in the peak power band throughout the lap, this will also bring the time down. Now, if you remember, Jim was able to get a 7-minute and 10-second time with the C7 Z06 at the ring. And his guess is that the new Z will beat that by 12 to 14 seconds. This, of course, would be amazing if we ever get to see that happen, and it would put the Z somewhere around the 656 to 658 mark. Now, if you take a look at the top 10 times at the ring, the new Z would be in some great company with either of these times. Check out these top 10 times. Now, as you will see, I started with the 5th best time with the Radical going 648. However, the very next time up is a 652 by the Huracan Performante, and then another Radical at 655, and then the Porsche GT3 RS at 656. Then, as you'll see, the Porsche 918 went 657, and then the Aventador SV went 659. Now, even if we had a 7 flat, that would be the Ferrari 488 Pista, which is no slouch, as you know. That's a 650 horsepower twin-turbo V8 Ferrari. So, like I said, we will be in great company in that time range, the 656, even all the way up to 7 minutes. Now remember what Misha said, they aren't allowed to publish their times, so why are they there? Let's listen a little more to what Misha has to say.
But now let's move on to the other side of car park, where Chevrolet was present with 3 Corvettes, massive film crew, the team full of engineers, a trailer full of tires, their factory race car drivers. So there is a lot more going on, because this would be quite an expensive marketing operation to just like film all of this and say like, hey, we're present at the Nurburgring, that's it. I mean, of course, maybe someone at marketing department just needs to burn through money, and it could have been the case, but I think there's definitely was a lot more planned. However, as mentioned again, it's not officially allowed to communicate any lap time, and I know that also internally there was choice made to not run those cars, although the last 10 minutes it was possible to do so, but someone said we're not going to do so because if we set 7 minutes 10, somewhere above 7 minutes, it's not going to be sub 7 because there was a yellow flag, but try to explain it to whoever is going to gossip about that lap time. On the other hand, it's also possible that Chevy thought, you know what, forget about the rules, we're just gonna pretend we didn't know and actually set a lap time and just publicize it anyway. This is something that Porsche has done with the Taycan a couple of years ago, after which Tesla, when they came here, Tesla was made well aware that, hey, don't do the same thing that Porsche did because otherwise there might be some trouble. So again, these are just speculations, and when it comes to speculations, I do want to say that I think the car is definitely capable of going sub 7. The previous Corvette Z06 was very close to it, but they had lots of issues with noise level, so they had to run massive silencers, and because of that the engine was not performing as well. There were lots of setbacks and issues, but now I think they have it pretty much dialed in and figured it out. And even if the car cannot set overall lap record, but go sub 7, to be the first US car to go sub 7, I think is going to be a massive achievement.
Again, as you can see, he believes this new Z is capable of a sub 7 minute time at the ring. But what other things could GM have been doing there? For one thing, I think we will definitely get more teaser videos from GM before they unveil on the 26th of next month, and probably even after that. We shall see. Now, what is my take on all of this? Will we see a sub 7 minute time? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Now, do we all want it to happen? Of course, we want GM to shine out there and be the very first car that's American made to go under 7 minutes at the Nurburgring. But is it super important for them to do this? Well, let's discuss. If they decide to go ahead and time themselves, will they break the rules like Misha said they might do? Will they publish an official or an unofficial lap time? I don't know, we'll see. Maybe they'll be out there for a longer period of time where they're able to actually run that official lap time and give us all the published lap time. Does this help GM sell their Corvette? Well, not to most Corvette buyers, no. But as I've said many times before, there are a lot of people out there that have stated they will never own a Corvette until the C8 came out, and then they changed their minds immediately. Now, there's still people out there that say they won't buy a C8. They like Porsches, they like Ferraris, they like Lamborghinis. But I think the Z06 is going to change a lot of their minds. So would it help them sell the Corvette to those types of people if they knew that it was now a sub 7 minute Nurburgring car? Probably. How important is a fast time at the ring to the new Z? I think that goes back to what we just discussed. It's important partially for certain buyers. For buyers like myself, I'm going to get the car no matter whether we get a published time at the Nurburgring or not. And I know there's a lot of you out there that feel the same way. So obviously, all of this stuff, let me know down in the comments below. And also, the next question I have for you guys is, what is your time prediction for the new Z at the ring? Just in case we do get to see what the official time is, what do you guys think it'll come in at? I'm going to guess that Jim Miro is very close to being correct with a 6:56 or 6:58 time. And so I'm going to go with 6:55. Let's just see if they can hit 6:55 on the dot with that car. They may even go faster than that, but it's all going to depend on if the track is empty, if the conditions are great, and if they have the right driver in the seat. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. We get to speculate a little bit, but we also get to use some facts, especially from Misha. I want to thank him for allowing me to use portions of his video. I also want to thank Stateside Supercars for allowing me to use just a short little clip that he was able to get at the Nürburgring to show you how much this car screams in those high RPM levels. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Again, leave me comments down below letting me know what your prediction is. Also, if you enjoyed the video, leave me comments there. Give me a big thumbs up. Give Stateside Supercars a thumbs up, and also Misha a thumbs up, again, for allowing me to use their clips. And if you don't want to miss a single one of these types of videos, make sure to smash that red subscribe button and the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded. I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you out on the road.